I feel worse about this than I have in other years.
Just got to get back in the weight room, Kenny.
Is that what he just said?
Yeah.
Oh,
hell yeah, man!
I didn't hear him say the weight room thing.
Pumping the iron.
Come on, Tommy, scram! Don't give her the weight room thing.
Just a bunch of kids out there, kind of learning the sport.
So season's over, right?
Yeah, it feels like.
Are we cling? 17 games left. How many games back are they? I didn't see the end of the Rays game.
There's still 4 out of the Wild.
There's still only 4?
That's what sucks. Is everybody else is losing right now.
Well,
Royals are losing. Mariners are losing. Tigers are losing.
Well, now I don't
Guardians
want
are
to say.
losing.
I don't want to say it's over yet. Do I? Or am I just denying the? I don't know. Cade Smith.
I'm not saying it, but yeah, it's denying the inevitable.
But it seems like
does he have a parlay that we can find somewhere?
It seems like you don't have a closer, and now
You don't have a setup man.
Yeah, and now even the rotation is not as
don't have
fine-tuned as you thought going. You don't have an ace.
There's nobody in the middle.
Yeah, this team has nothing. Just like
Austin
that.
Hedges hit a home run last night.
You do have that. Could be a power surge. Remember we thought
Not
Nolan
that.
Jones mini power surge?
You get a little power surge, a little bit.
No, it feels like it's over.
What do you think, Owen? Come on, man.
Yeah, let's delay the inevitable.
Why not? 17 games left. Crazier things have happened.
Got one more weekend at the ballpark. I'm going to go.
See, Owen's in. Oh, God, you sound like you're going through the motions.
Yeah, I'm in to go.
All right, fine.
Drink beers amongst other people that are mourning.
Fine. That's it. If Owen's out, I'm out. It's
Not
that
out.
simple.
I'll still be there.
You're going, but you're out on the season.
I'll still be there.
Oh, that's going through the motions.
Oh, come on, man. I
Nah,
believe.
that's a bad marriage. That's I'm just still going to be there as bad. I'll be there for the kids.
I'll be the show's bad marriage expert.
Yeah, I mean, even when
I don't know. Those marriages you had in the Pacific Rim, I think those were good marriages.
Yeah. Good week-long marriages.
Those were successful marriages.
even when they played their best baseball of the year, it just didn't seem like they were special. It didn't seem like at any point they had special in them, right? No. So we were like, all right, maybe there was a time where I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to make the playoffs now. Like we were all sitting here going, yeah, they're probably going to make the playoffs now. And then it went south again.
Well, you know, the problem
and then you're
is,
like, what could you even count on?
I think my biggest issue is that I just have way more questions than I've ever had when they haven't made the postseason. And I think I put those questions to you a couple of weeks ago, and those questions still haven't been answered. I assume that Emmanuel Clase may be done forever, and maybe the same thing with Luis Ortiz. And Luis Ortiz had a couple of good outings, I know, and had some times where I think he flirted with being a really good pitcher for you, and he was still a young guy, 25 years old. Now that's gone out the window, so there's no point of bringing him up anymore, it seems. Emmanuel Clase, again, there's no point of bringing him up anymore, it seems. The guy that a lot of people thought was the heir apparent in Cade Smith, he's completely fallen off the rail. So I don't have a closer right now. What do you think of your bullpen? Okay, that gives me my answer right there. The pause about the. So we're just thinking about it. There's no rhyme or reason.
I mean, just think about it. Last year, if you compare this team to last year across the board, what does it do better than last year?
Nothing.
They're definitely worse on defense.
Yes.
There was nothing they could do to have the bullpen that they had last year. The bullpen was unstoppable and perfect. And then when you lost Clase,
rotation's not as good. Yeah.
Just the biggest difference between this year and last year is consistency. They have flashes this year. They at least had some sort of consistency. You could depend on them to play a certain style of game last year. There wasn't too many blowouts.
No.
There wasn't a giving up 11 runs or giving up 4 in the 8th or whatever it was.
It felt like there wasn't like going 25 innings or whatever it was without scoring a run or whatever ungodly amount it was at one point. Like there wasn't that. So the only thing consistent has been the inconsistency of not being able to hit, not being able to get to string along good outings. Again, you had a good month of Slade Ciccone followed up by a bad month of Slade Ciccone. Like there was nothing. And so that's what makes me like really concerned here. Is your bullpen bullpens come and they go. So maybe next year your bullpen will be better. I can't necessarily predict bullpen. Starting rotation, I'm very concerned about. I'm very concerned about the starting rotation. We've become accustomed to a certain lifestyle here as Guardians fans, which sounds like now I'm asking for alimony. We've become accustomed to having a good young pitcher who looks like he's going to be a Cy Young winner at some point, or somebody that we can get excited for at some point. We've become accustomed to. Well, again, if you're not going to develop the hitting, then you better develop something. And they've always been able to develop it. So I wouldn't call Guardians fans spoiled. Like other organizations, other fan bases, they do have boppers. We don't have boppers, and it's gotten to the point where I don't expect it. But I do expect top-end pitching for this baseball team for them to be a competitive club. And if I don't have top-end pitching, then I have to look at everybody else and go, what are you doing here? You know, you and I actually got yelled at by a Guardians insider because you and I gave him a pass for Junior Caminero last week. Remember? I was like, I don't want to make a big deal about Junior Caminero. Can you really predict these things? Can you really see these things that he's going to go out and hit near 40 home runs? And I'm not going to say who, but I basically got shouted down by a Guardians insider. Like, I was like, whoa, easy, calm down. All right, I see your point, where he was like, I'm sorry, Ken, is that not their jobs? I mean, they traded him for another guy that never pitched for him. So it wasn't like they traded him, and they made a good point. I got no problem admitting that I'm wrong, because when it came to Caminero, and I know I'm going off the beaten track here, but I've been waiting to tell you this. I wish I could tell you guys exactly who, because I think you guys would go, whoa, I know. But the guy looks at me and goes, that's their jobs. Their jobs are to do that. They didn't trade him for a guy for a stretch run, for a postseason run. Yeah, they traded him for another minor leaguer. The minor leaguer didn't make it, Ken.
Baseball.
And then he goes out and he hits 40 home runs. They have how many people in player development? Because this was the argument. And I was dumbfounded. I said, what? You're right.
Look what they traded him for. I mean,
they traded him for a pitcher that never pitched for him.
Yeah. It's just. I kind of laugh at that analysis because Major League Baseball, above all the sports, has the most egregious misses you could ever have because there's no way. There's such a fluky element to such a high percentage of whether guys turn into something. And the reality is the Guardians have been one of the higher, I think you'd have to say, and this is why they've been the model for all of the poor teams, right? I heard down in Miami they were talking about the Marlins. The Marlins were like, man, if we could only be the Rays of the Guardians in our player in a lot of our trades, right? Because the Guardians have just smashed so many trades out of the park that I'm okay giving, especially one where not one person in the city questioned losing Junior Caminero at the time. There was not one person. So your buddy can say, yes, they missed it. It's an all-time egregious miss. And I'd say, yeah, I would imagine every GM in baseball has like 5 of those, per 10 years, that if they even are fortunate enough to have a job for 10 years.
But when you don't cultivate power and when you can't afford those misses, it makes it that much more glaring. I mean, if you put Junior Caminero in this order, how much more of a help would it be? I don't know if they'd be a playoff team. For the love of God, they are 4 games back of the wild card. So there's a lot of room they got to make up, and the Rays had the same record as we did at one point last week. So, I mean, I could see it one way or the other, but at least I would feel a lot better if I went, okay, I got home runs sitting for my team with that guy. It would just be a conversation whether or not you got to pay the guy. I agree.
I wish the Guardians were 100% accurate and soothsayers.
Yeah, but
it's impossible to be that in
their
this
margin
sport.
for error is that much smaller.
They have no margin. No, that's the reality. If you would have told me before the season, even if we would have spent $20 million more in payroll, if you would have told me our closer gets taken away and a starter gets taken away in a gambling, an unfortunate gambling investigation, I'd say,
it's not unfortunate. Just don't be gambling.
I'd say, sure. I don't know if he was. I don't know what even. I still don't know. We're just speculating at this point.
It's arguable that he's never going to be around again. So
if you would have told me that before the season and we spent $20 million on a couple of players in the lineup, I'd say, that's probably a team that's not going to win the World Series. Like, you can't afford to have that. They got no margin for error to begin with.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but they got to be held. I could always turn around and go, hey man, you lose 2 second-round picks. That really sucks to be you. But at the end of the day, your feet are going to be held to the fire if you're the Cleveland Browns. So I have to look at a team that I hold to a much higher standard as far as, when we make these comparisons, people roll their eyes. I go, no, I expect more from the Guardians. I expect better from the Guardians. I can trust the Guardians to be a responsible organization.
But I'll say the same thing going into next year. Like, tell me who my closer is, and if they get investigated because of a gambling situation, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. They're probably not going to win the World Series.
But again, the point is
I'd probably say that for most teams in Major League Baseball.
When you pour that much into player development and you miss on a guy, it's that much glaring of a problem. So I have to put it as a knock on the Guardians where, yeah, I guess it is their job. I guess I was wrong. That it is their job to figure that out with that guy. And so that leads me to more questions. I think I have some power there with Kyle Manzardo, but again, I don't want to overhype and then all of a sudden it's just another Nolan Jones situation. Stephen Kwan, how many people want to pay Stephen Kwan right now in the room?
What do you mean? You mean like don't want him on the Guardians anymore?
We would pay him a reasonable salary.
Pay him, not what you still were talking about 2 months ago.
Well, yeah, but that's now more realistic. So if he wants to accept $20 million a year,
that's what I wanted to pay him.
Please, hand him the pen.
That's
fine.
All we need all our good guys to do is have bad stretches so we can afford them.
I mean, simply that, is it not? That's a reason to come and watch the team.
Who else can we have?
I can't believe I'm saying it to you. Welcome to being a Guardians fan. I thought you did it longer than I did.
Who else can we have play poorly enough so that we can actually afford to keep him?
He started earlier than you. I don't know if he's done it longer than you. That's the difference.
What? Did what?
Just being a Guardians fan or a Cleveland baseball fan.
Oh, and you win. You're the biggest Guardians fan in the room. Let's move on to the next topic. Who's the best Cavs fan in the room?
That's not what we're doing.
Survey says.
That's not how it started.
Any college hoops fans left? I used to be a big college hoops fan. UFC time. Who's in the octagon? Who's the best ultimate fighting fan there is? You win, Owen. Congrats, Owen. You win.
It's just
That's
amazing.
not what I said at all.
You get to spend more of your time at the ballpark.
Like Ken and not listening to half the sentence, and then you're going.
I don't know why I'm catching anything over here. The argument's between you guys. You're always going to catch something.
Is the football guy in the room the biggest Browns fan today?
No.
Oh,
biggest Browns fan today?
Yeah.
As far as
I don't know. I thought we were taking stock in who the biggest fan was.
I've heard all day.
Who's next? Buckeyes? I get to be the biggest Buckeye fan, right?
Well, I think we always assumed you're the biggest Buckeye fan.
Told you.
Do the childish thing.
Anybody else at the station? Who's in the running?
Well, listen how defensive you are.
Let's power rank the biggest fans of every team.
Anthony Antonetti over here. He just has an answer for everything. I mean, you should be part of the golf shirt army or whatever they call it. They're called the golf shirt mafia.
You'd know that if you were a big fan.
Come on, Kenny.
Yeah. Call the Dairy Brothers. I mean, I think maybe one of them might want to go toe to toe with you, because it seems like you got an excuse right after another for everything that's going wrong here.
No, I just think it's pretty obvious that when you get your closer taken away and you get one of your starters who actually, you had a lot of promise. I just don't know how you call that anything other than bad luck. I just don't know.
So the whole season chalked up to bad luck?
No, I'm just saying that was another factor.
Whole season.
That was another factor that doomed them. They already had.
So anything that bad happens to the Browns, it's luck.
They already had, as we know, they started the season. What did we do? What did we do the first month of the year? We said, the Lane Thomas situation, the Fry situation, like that was working against them. This team has no margin for error. We know that. They're never going to be able to withstand any kind of adversity when it comes to injuries or gambling investigations. That's probably not going to help their situation.
Yeah. Said Tillman, it's not that he's not good. It's just it's bad luck.
Like, what do you think? How many games?
David Bell, it's not that he's made of glass. It's just it's bad luck.
Like, you've made a case that the Browns with if Flacco and everything goes well and the offensive line holds up, and
which would take a lot of luck.
Right. But if everything goes their way, how many wins?
If everything goes their way?
Yeah, great defense.
8.
And what if Flacco's investigated in a gambling sting?
I tell you what, I'd be pretty damn surprised.
Be a win-win.
I'd be pretty surprised.
Is that good luck or bad luck?
So Emmanuel Clase is
the Browns have accounted for that?
Emmanuel Clase.
I want to hear this. Yeah, Ken, take some time. I think you need to take some time to
I don't need to take any time.
I think you realize how dumb what you said was earlier, and you need to take some time.
First off,
why don't you tell me when we come back from the break whether that's good luck or bad luck?
Okay,
I think you need more time.
No.
You need more time.
No. This is where it goes way over break, and then Owen gets mad.
And I think you're going to say it's stupid again.
What's stupid here? Why are you calling me stupid?
It is. It's a stupid thing.
Because you're going to railroad everybody, and you don't want to pay attention to everything. So let me get you straight on this.
The rest of the guy
that most of the audience wanted to replace with Cade Smith before the gambling investigation. That's what the entire season hinged on. And I'm the stupid one on the radio here. I'm the dumb one on the radio right now. I'm the dumb one out of that.
You've given yourself enough rope.
It's all on Emmanuel Clase because he got in trouble for gambling, allegedly. So that's why the Guardians get a free pass on the season, according to Anthony. That's the argument you just made over the last 5 minutes, yelling over Owen and yelling over me.
That was not my argument.
Okay.
So now
is that what you heard over there?
Are you stupid? Your ears don't work.
Is that what you heard over there?
So we've got to get something here, right, Ken?
I mean, you can call. Hey, if you want to sit there and name call all day long, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't make you right, but that's perfectly fine. You can do lowest common denominator stuff. That's okay.
I still am waiting for how the Guardians were supposed to account for having their closer ripped from them, and you acted like it was their fault. And you're like, well, just don't gamble. Just don't gamble. Okay.
That's how we win arguments.
That should be their motto next year. Just don't gamble.
That's how. If I believe Lima's wrong now, I'm just going to call him stupid. You big stupid head.
Calvin Ridley. Stupid. Just don't gamble.
You're
just
stupid.
don't be caught up in a gambling investigation.
Yeah, it's not that hard to not break the law or break the rules of what your team is.
I don't know what he did.
It's not that hard.
I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me.
I got thousands of other guys that are not being investigated for gambling.
I've got one pitch that people showed me video of.
Thousands of baseball players not being invested for gambling.
I've got one video.
There's so many.
Ken said he gambled. I don't know. Did he gamble?
I argued if he gambled. It seems it looked like, well,
now it's an if.
So they don't just suspend you for no reason.
Before you jump to the conclusion,
they don't put you on an exempt list for no reason.
That's the new slogan of the Guardians. What if he didn't gamble?
All right, hey, how about this? If he pitches for the Guardians next year, I owe you a Coke.
That was funny. Oh, just one?
2-second trivia.
Now we're gambling on whether he gambled or not.
7:45.
Great.
To see this show is a problem.
Hello, Matt.
No, the power of social media, 92.3 The Fan on Instagram. I actually saw the video of Anthony telling you that it was bad luck.
Oh.
I missed the Owen brawl, but, I'm a huge Owen on the board fan, but Anthony, come on, man.
Ooh, let you have it. Let you have it.
What are we doing here, sports boy? What are we doing? This team's not talented enough. It doesn't matter if it's luck, losing two guys. Yeah, the Class A thing hurts. Yeah, the Ortiz thing hurts. But watch the last couple nights. They're not as good as Boston. Boston has more players. There's not enough talent on this roster.
And that's with our run explosion of 11 runs over the last 2 days.
How about that? I am very excited about Brian Rocchio. I think there's something there, and I'm happy to see that he's bounced back and looks like the October Rocchio from last year. But I don't think it's bad luck. This is the organization that went out and traded a Platinum Glover to get Ortiz, and he obviously is not a character person and is letting his teammates down. Class A, remember, was suspended once before for cheating. So, there's a history there, too. So they kind of made their own luck in terms of the players that they picked. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the cheating thing, that's interesting. Matt Derry joined us because we didn't even bring that up. Neither of us had brought that up previously, that he had been suspended. I guess what I tend to think, and I didn't mean to make it seem like the whole season is just, well, poor Guardians. They don't have a big margin for error. The reason they don't have a big margin for error, their payroll. We go over that to death. We're trying not to go over it at this point in time because this was such a bizarre situation. You have two players taken out to the point where people are speculating, is this a team-wide thing? Did the team know about it? What did they know and when did they know it? Right, it was a grand conspiracy. And I want to say, fortunately, that hasn't been the case, but we don't know. We don't know anything.
No.
It's so weird that the guys are still suspended, but we can't say anything about it. The Guardians can't comment on it, but they lost their right to come back to the game. So as Ken says, it must be something very serious. But all I've seen are some videos that may indicate, and I'm like, all right, well, we did that with Malik Beasley. We did that with Terry Rozier. And so far, nothing's come up with them. In the NBA, you got Beasley, his people are saying the NBA told him the investigation's over, even though we have nothing official there. So all I was saying is that part of it seems to be bad luck. Any baseball team that loses their closer because of a gambling investigation, that would put a damper on their season and their ceiling, and to me, that would be considered bad luck.
Well, no, and there's no question that Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, some of the other starting pitchers, when they lose their buddy or they lose somebody that is in front of them in terms of in the rotation or in the bullpen, you're asking a lot of Cade Smith. I don't blame Cade Smith for last night. I blame Stephen Vogt. I have no reason. I have no idea why he took Gaddis out of that game after 13 pitches to bring Cade in. I didn't like that. I didn't like that move. But regardless, Smith is not Class A. He's going to be good. He's very good. He had a great year last year. But, yeah, it does hurt the team. You're not wrong about that. But I'm just saying, to say, it's just been bad luck. I know I hear what you're saying now. But the bottom line is we talk about it on the podcast all the time. They're just not good enough. And that sucks. It sucks because the division's a joke. The first-place team in this division, they're not that good either. Neither is the second-place team, and the fourth and fifth-place teams aren't good. Like, this was so winnable after last year. But yet, what did they do in the offseason? Paul Sewald? Jacob Junis? Re-upping Hedges? Like, that's not good enough.
Not good enough. Matt, my issue was, what's the next step? Because I'm more worried than I've been in the past. Like, they didn't make the postseason, Terry's last year. It's like, all right, it might be a little bit wonky here, but we got some guys, and now I'm going, man, I'm worried about the rotation. We've become accustomed to having top-end pitching. I don't know if we have that right now. Bullpens. I mean, they come, they go. I'm never really worried one way or the other about it. I like what you just told me about Cade Smith's future. It does make me feel a little bit better. But then you get to the lineup, it's like, all right, well, I guess it's fine that Stephen Kwan's having himself a rough second half because it's his third in a row. That means he's more affordable to us now, but that's not an argument here. And it's all because of my guy who's 33 years old who took a massive discount for us, and that we're not going to get that again. We're not going to get that from anybody else, and I just don't want to feel like I've wasted any of his time here.
I think you bring up valid points, Ken. I don't think they know what's next. I think this ownership is just like a majority of those owners, and I've said this on your show before, that are not saying they're tanking, but they're waiting to see what happens at this time next year, where there's likely going to be a lockout. So even a team like Detroit, what Detroit did after making the playoffs last year, added with Gleyber Torres and Jack Flaherty, but did they go for it and go get Bregman? No, Boston did. Boston went out and cut that big check. The Mets did with Juan Soto. The Yankees did by adding Max Fried and others. Most of these owners are just kind of sitting there. So to sit here and go, oh man, Guardians fans are upset. They want to see action this offseason. I think the Guardians are going to tell you things like Anthony said before about the bad luck. I think they're going to say, we got a lot of young players that played this year. We're the youngest roster in the league for the third year in a row. They're going to throw that crap at you. But they didn't win enough baseball games. And of all these young guys that are playing, who are the ones that you know for sure are going to be part of the team next year at least in the lineup? You don't know that. We don't know who the catcher is going to be. Do we definitely know the shortstop, second baseman, center fielder, right fielder are going to be next year? No. We know it's Manzardo. We know it's Jose. It's Kwan. I think Rocchio is a piece. The rotation's going to be good. I'm happy about that. I like all the young arms. I like John Means coming up. I'm glad Cantillo's pitching. They've got some depth there, but they're the ones that have put out this awful offense for the last couple of years. And what are the answers? We still don't know. Oh, no, John Kenzie had a big night last night, so he's the future. It's been up and down from AAA for 3 years.
Well, it's, Lyman mentioned, and my issue was not even an issue. My whole point that they should have done is Lima thought he feels something big could happen this offseason. I don't. I feel it's batting down the hatches. I feel like next year is going to be a lot like this year until they get to the offseason of 2026 to 27 and they can figure out labor agreements or lack thereof, television agreements or lack thereof, and then they can go ahead and move forward. If that means David Blitzer comes in, if that means David Blitzer stays as a minority owner, I think that's when you're going to get your movement. But I just don't think there's going to be a lot said this year. I think they should do some things for goodwill this winter, but I think it's going to end up ringing hollow in the grand scheme of things when it comes to actually going out and getting players.
Well, when Anthony says something big, you talk about like a free agent signing?
I think he's talking about movement within the front office.
No, I just don't know what they could possibly do after this season where it seems like the trust has been eroded to some extent with the organization. And I know we talked about, Junior Caminero and how who saw that coming, but that is their job. Ken's buddy was telling them, well, it's still their job. Their job is to not make mistakes like that. Like, what trust do people have today in the organization, and how do they get excited about a team going into next season? It doesn't seem like they have an ace. We don't know if we have a closer, and we already know all the limitations in a lineup.
Let's just say Alex Bregman, I used him as an example before. Let's just say Alex Bregman opts out. And yes, he's a Boris guy, and he's got some weird, wonky contract with the Red Sox where he can opt out every year. So let's say he says, I'm cashing in. Maybe the Red Sox make a run in the postseason. He has a big postseason, and he says, I'm cashing it. I'm cashing out. I'm going to go be a free agent and hopefully cash back in somewhere else. He is a right-handed bat that would be so perfect for this lineup. Now, you'd probably have to go to Jose and go, hey, Jose, can you do me a favor? Can you move to second base or can you split time? Whatever it would be, because Bregman's a third baseman. Maybe you ask Bregman to play second. I don't know. But that's like a right-handed bat that you've been dying to get. Now, I don't know if that would happen, but it would take money. We've heard the organization say, we're threading the needle, or we really like some of these young guys. We don't want to block the young guys. How much longer do I have to watch Gabriel Arias play every day? Go get some guys. Like, if you have to make a deal and deal from your strength, which has been your pitching, go do that. Make a move and go get somebody. But they're not going to. They're not going to. Not with this labor stuff that's coming and their bad TV deal they have. And it's not happening. So,
Matt, I said the only chance is, because I've seen it, 2 other instances. You tell me if I'm using dated material here. But the year that they sold, baseball gave every team money for BAM. They went and spent money. The year they sold Sports Time Ohio, they went and spent the money. If they get a TV deal somehow done, then do you think they would, for the third time, put that money back into the team?
I would hope so. Yes, I would. Look, I don't know Paul Dolan's situation. I know there was a lot of reports about, well, now that his dad has passed away, maybe he's going to move the goalpost a little bit and hand it over to the new guy sooner because he wanted to win one for his father, and that was nice. But who knows? He doesn't talk. They don't talk. They are so secretive about everything. Is Arias day-to-day IL? Guys get hurt and they say nothing. There's very little transparency with that organization. And it's too bad because all they've really done is win. I mean, there's no bigger fan of the team than me. But they're not very transparent. What's the plan? I don't know. I just know there's a lot of young guys on the team, and you hope that next year a few of them blossom and go from their 24 year to their 25 age year and really hit, because you can't finish second to last in OPS and expect to be in the postseason. So it's a miracle they're only a game under 500 with that run differential. It's a miracle.
Matt, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. All the very best to you and yours, and having a civil discussion with us about this.
Anytime, guys. Ken, keep up the great work on Fox 8 as well.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Anthony, are you calling football games?
Did I call a historic game or what on Saturday? Thank you very much. Team ending a 21-game losing streak.
I need highlights, please. Put it on
Roger Brown over here.
And that should
Roger Brown.
Do it.
Oh, my God.
First down. Kent State and history here at Dick Stadium, because not since September 16th, 2023, the Flashes will get one in the win column.
Yes.
Audio courtesy of ESPN and Anthony Lime of the Sports Baton. Matt, thank you.
Peace.
Matt Derry. Derry Brothers Guardians cast. Oh, that was civil.
Almost too nice.